I guess I'm gonna keep this going. Episode 3. Episode 3 of Keeping Memory for You. This one's gonna be about your brother Michael. Your little brother Michael. We would still be at the house on Victoria, and I can't really remember our mother being pregnant with our brother. Like, can't. It seems like one day they dropped me off at your Grandma Betty's house, and the next thing you know, your mom and dad brought home this little freaking swaddle of a thing, and then your life changed. Because before that, on your mom's side, you were the only grandchild. You had everything you wanted. And then things began to change, having a sibling. I can remember coming home from school back then. They had buses and stuff, I think. I can't really. Or, I don't know. Did I take a bus to school? Maybe I'm confusing later on in my youth. But I remember your brother, there was a couch right next to the window, and he would wave bye. And he'd wave hello when you came home from school. He had these really big eyes, big lips, and he always wanted to play in the mud. Michael. Your dad nicknamed him Buddy. He always called him Buddy. Called you Gumpers. I don't know why that was your nickname, but you were Gumpers and Michael was Buddy. And one of the most biggest memories that stand out that early in your life was one time your little brother Michael was standing on a bamboo table in the living room, and the bamboo table had a glass covering. It was like see-through glass, and he was standing on top of the table, and he had one of those onesies pajamas on. I think it was red, and he had a glass in his hand, and he was standing on top of the table, and for some godforsaken reason, Michael threw the glass down on the table, and the table broke and shattered. I take that back. It didn't shatter. The glass broke. It did not shatter. It broke into huge pieces of glass that were bigger than him. And he fell headfirst in the middle of the table. And these jagged, big pieces of glass, because I think he's standing on top of the table, throws the glass down, and the glass falls in like that, and the edges of the glass are sticking straight up, and he falls head first. I remember you just stood there and couldn't hear anything, and just went silent. And you see him upside down. He can't move, and his pajamas are just shredded up from the glass, and there's like a blade next to his neck, next to his eye, and he's upside down. And you just stared, and I don't know if it was your mom or your dad, they ran in, and they couldn't just pull him out, or else he would have been cut bad. And they had to pull him out strategically the same way he fell in, without getting cut by the other pieces of glass that were, like I said, bigger than him. He was only probably 1 year old ish. And when your parents pulled him out, can't remember if he was crying or not, but I can remember that his pajamas were shredded to pieces. And by the grace of God, not one cut. Your brother was not harmed. Scared, frightened, but there was not one drop of blood shed. And when I reflect on it, it's like when he fell upside down, it was such an awkward position. Like, he didn't move. He didn't try to move. He almost knew that, like, at one, if he moved, he might get cut. So when he fell, he just stood there. And now I think about it, it's like, that could have went a whole lot worse. But I'm glad it didn't. Because you had a brother you got to torment, torture, and trip and beat up his whole life because of it.